Hi, gang! I can't believe how awful I am at keeping this short. I've done this 3 times, promising myself to keep it under 5 minutes, and I failed every single time. Alright, this time I'm doing it. Luke Shanahan, author, Deep Nutrition, co-author. My wife and I put books out. You may have heard of some of them. Fat Burn Fix, the New York Times best-selling book. Deep Nutrition, which a lot of people consider the Bible of modern nutrition, which covers all aspects of keto, ancestral, primal, that traditional, that whole thing. And then Food Rules, which is kind of a quick crash course with simple tips to jump into this whole movement and get your health back online with nutrition. You may notice that we're in a brand new studio, completely reworked. We spent nearly $100,000 bringing in an interior decorator who specializes in podcast studios, and I'm not sure what you think of it. I think they did a bang-up job. The inclusion of the latex foam bed topper and the stack of butcher boxes covering up painting I did of B. Arthur and the random strewing of outdoor lights. Genius. None of these things would have occurred to me, but this is why you pay the money to people who actually know what they're doing. The butcher box, I'm going to give you a tip right here. This tip is valued at $120. You're getting it for free today, and that is you don't need to buy a plastic litter box for your cat, because all plastic, as you know, winds up in the ocean, and all plastic in the ocean winds up in fish and whales and birds. We don't want that. So what do we do instead? We keep our butcher boxes, especially the bigger ones. Take a big knife, cut a square out of the top, boom, fill it with litter, you're in business. If it starts to stink, you recycle it, toss it, you got another butcher box, and no plastic winds up in the ocean as a result of that. $120, not too shabby. Speaking of not wasting things, why we're here today, we're going to keep it under 5, $221. Do your joints hurt? Are you an athlete? Are you middle-aged and not recovering as fast as you used to? Are you a young whippersnapper, gal or guy or other? And you're thinking, what should I be eating after my tough workouts to make sure that I fully recover as fast and as well as I possibly can? I am having natural protein, and I'm trying to steer away from those terrible protein powders, because from reading on drkate.com, I've learned that those are not the best way to feed your recovering muscles. But what do I do about my soft tissue, which hurts? Ouch! I'm telling you, it hurts. My shoulder hurts. I've got bursitis. My elbow, because I banged it into the side of the shower. Oh, tennis elbow perhaps. Your hips are killing you. Your lower back, your knee. Or you have arthritis in your fingers from typing all day. Soft tissue. Collagen is what keeps skin looking youthful. It's what feeds your hair. It's what is a huge part of your bones and strengthens bone. But of course, it's the main component. Proteins and glycosaminoglycans, that whole family, and collagens and other molecules combine to create this incredible, resilient, kind of rubbery but tough connective tissue that makes the difference between you being able to perform athletically, whether you're just a weekend warrior or you're like a professional athlete, many of whom Kate has worked with on a team basis or one-on-one, including 6 years with the LA Lakers, and a lot of people you've heard the name of, I promise, who came. Just type it in, Dr. Kate Lakers bone stock or stock, see what comes up, and you'll find out that this big craze that you're hearing about all over the place, well, it started here because athletes were not exploiting the full benefits of using good old-fashioned grandma's homemade, gently cooked, these benefits gently extracted over hours. It's the super serum to rebuilding and protecting soft tissue. So here's my request to you. If you ever eat a chicken, you buy a chicken, rotisserie chicken, or you spend $40 or $30 on some grass-fed, chicken that comes with a birth certificate and a whole description of its ambitions and everything before it was killed. Please respect that bird, that carcass, and don't throw it in the garbage, because doing that, you're throwing away Well, you're wasting its death, because that carcass has one mission in life yet before it heads into the netherworld and before it is reabsorbed into the earth, and that is to feed your joints. That's all it wants to do. And for millennia, we let it do that. Anytime you have a chicken carcass, anytime you have any meat on the bone, ribs, steak, anything with a bone, don't throw it away. Put them in a big Ziploc bag, put them in the freezer until you have like a bag or two worth. Get a big ass pot. And I'm going to put the simple instructions right here for you to see. But basically, it is a whole bunch of water, a couple tablespoons of salt. I like to season right off the bat. Mirepoix, which is a bunch of vegetables. Put it in cold water and an acid, which can be lemon juice. Don't do the vinegar. I don't know. You can still taste the vinegar when it's white wine's great. Citrus is great. Lime or lemon, great. That helps to extract more of the calcium out of the bones. Then in go the chickens. Cover by at least a couple of inches. Plenty of water. Bring up to a slow simmer. It'll put up a bunch of the scummy stuff on top, which you'll skim with a flat spoon or a very fine mesh spoon, which you'll do for half an hour assiduously. Keep it at a very slow simmer. And then just let it simmer for 3 to 4 hours. Then you can take a big slotted spoon or one of those spider spoon things. I forget what they're called, but Asian cooking. You pull out the bones. If there's any good meat on there, throw it over to the dog and the cat. Make sure it doesn't have any bone gristle in there. Boom. Now put it through a chinois, which is a very fine strainer, which you need in your kitchen. And then you'll cool it down restaurant style, which is to do it in a hurry with a bunch of ice, like a ice bath, and make sure it cools down immediately. Or you can just let it cool on the counter. Or if you're in the north, you'd put it outside. Never cover the stock as you're cooking it fully with a lid. You can cover it partially, but always let the steam come out. Otherwise, it sours the stock. And yeah, and then once it's cooled, you put it in the fridge. Take it out the next day. You can either take it from that point and warm it up a bit and pour it into some Tupperware. You can throw it in the freezer. Or you can reduce it a bit just so you don't, to save storage. Taste it again. Make sure remember, if you season it too much, when you reduce it, it's going to be even more salty. But I do like having it taste good and have seasoning all the way through, because I think the salt helps to protect it. Keeps it from going bad in the fridge if you keep it in there for a week. If you do have it in there for a week, you take it in a pot, you reheat it, you can refresh it that way, and it can stay good for weeks or even a month. Otherwise, throw it in the freezer, or you can make ice cubes out of it, right? And that is the magic elixir. You will feel a difference. You will no longer be wasting this incredible resource. I hate to use that word when you're talking about a living animal that was forced to give its life, but that life force is in a way still there. So you've already killed it once. Don't kill it again by throwing it in the trash. Respect it. Let that chicken. You're welcome. I've cured your joints. Thank you for not throwing me in the trash. That would have been tragic. But now I'm being boiled. And I like it, because I know it's going to help you play basketball better this weekend. Okay, that was shorter than I did before. 8:23, close enough. All right, if you have any questions, scientific or otherwise, do take a gander at our books, Deep Nutrition, Fat Burn Fix, and Food Rules, or check out drk.com to learn all about this and all kinds of really important things like, is salt good for you or not? Do you know? Maybe you don't. Find out. But do this. And if you have any questions scientifically or culinarily about how to make this stuff and how to get the best extraction and how much you should have, I'm here for you. And if you ask nicely, I'll answer. If I don't like your tone, I might just ignore it. Okay. Thanks, gang. Until next time. Luke Shanahan, signing out.